story on Russian TV news this evening, but the findings of the Litvinenko report were described as absurd and a farce by the Russian government. Also speaking out, the main suspect, Andrei Lugovoy, who dismissed the findings as an attempt to slur Russia.
Before it was just me and Kovtun. Now the report says probably Russia's leaders were involved. But where's the evidence? What's the motive? It's some group in the British establishment which wants to worsen relations with Russia.
In London, the Russian ambassador was summoned to the Foreign Office, where Britain laid down the same demands it made nearly a decade ago, that the suspects be extradited and Russia explain the actions of its security service. Afterwards, he dismissed it as a whitewash.
For us, it's absolutely unacceptable that the report concludes that the Russian state was in any way involved in the death of Mr. Litvinenko. This gross provocation of the British authorities cannot help hurting our bilateral relations.
Today's response by the British government to this Litvinenko report is, let's face it, minimal. Asset freezes on the two suspects, and the Russian ambassador called in here to the Foreign Office. But the reason is, Britain faces a dilemma. Yes, the report has said the Russian state looks like a threat, but Russia's also needed as a partner. First, there's Syria, where Russia's airstrikes are troubling, but the West wants it to help with peace talks and to combat so-called IS extremists. Then there's Iran's nuclear deal, where Russia was apparently helpful. And lastly, there's Ukraine, where Russia may have fueled the conflict, but is also needed to end it. Aggressive, authoritarian, Putin's Russia may invite zero trust in the West, but it's too important to be totally ostracized.
We have put sanctions in place, led the arguments in Europe for sanctions against Russia because of their illegal action in the Ukraine. But do we at some level have to go on having some sort of relationship with them because we need a solution to the Syria crisis? Yes, we do, but we do it with clear eyes and a very cold heart.
Less than 6 months ago, they were shaking hands. Now the problem for Britain, how to deal with Mr. Putin without letting him think he can get away with anything. Bridget Kendall, BBC News.